In his book, Measure What Matters, John Doerr described the performance framework that he calls objectives and key results as having 4 key superpowers. Today, we're going to show you how to turbocharge these superpowers for true digital transformation by adding the operating model design, because it's a process problem. This is timely because a recent KPMG survey revealed that 78% of the CEOs polled said they needed to be quicker to shift investments to digital opportunities and divest businesses that face digital obsolescence. Unfortunately, most organizations facing this challenge are bound by their traditional annual budgeting processes, which forces a retrospective look into their existing 1.0 business model through the lens of the org chart, which simply encourages automating existing processes amounting to little more than paving the cow paths, marginally extending their shelf life on their way to being Amazoned. We believe that in today's dynamic environment driven by digital transformation, executives need to lean in to facilitate a forward-looking prescriptive design using the operating model, where the organization is viewed as a system of processes or capabilities. And in doing so, recognize the 3 domains of capabilities or processes within the organization: the strategic processes, which we're talking about right now, the enabling processes such as finance, HR, IT, and others that represent areas within the enterprise that are necessary but don't directly touch the customer, and then finally, the core processes that deliver the organization's value proposition. For example, this notional operating model for a community bank vividly illustrates the process families, indicated by chevrons, and all the supporting processes of those families that deliver the bank's value proposition to its customers. This is a very different perspective from the org chart, where there's no mention of processes at all. So let's illustrate how the operating model can turbocharge the OKR process. At its core, objectives and key results, or OKRs, only answer the questions, where do we need to go and how do we know we're getting there? However, adding the operating model design answers the question that baffles most organizations: what must we do to get there? Let's put a little more definition around this concept. Using our community banking example, senior leadership have recognized they must improve their customer experience by streamlining touch points and handoffs between the front, middle, and back office operations. And so we'll list this as one of the organization's key objectives for the upcoming year, which they intend to measure through increased instrumentation on their customer journey, noting the number of incomplete journeys. In other words, journeys that did not result in the organization's desired outcome. Using Acceler's operating model design approach will illuminate the processes and projects that are necessary to progress the organization toward those objectives. Mapping that objective to the processes within the operating model that support the customer journey will reveal a set of projects that will transform the organization. Once these projects are complete, the organization can then use the key results to determine if the project has indeed achieved the result it set out for. Furthermore, the operating model leverages those influencer individuals within the organization, anointing them as process champions. These individuals typically are frontline personnel familiar with their particular processes, who are neither afraid of change nor the technology that might support that change. Referring back to Doerr's OKR superpowers, aligning and connecting via the process model and its champions, rather than the org chart and functional leads, ensures the output of these processes are indeed delivering the OKRs, avoiding the siloed thinking and artificial barriers the org chart often encourages. Mind you, we're not advocating the elimination of the org chart. Quite the contrary. We see the org chart and process model happily coexisting through the glue that joins the functional leads with the OKR projects and the process champions. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about turbocharging your OKRs, please link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on our It's a Process Problem video series. Thanks.